Some of the most popular games you play daily like PUBG and Fortnite are based on C++ programming. Interesting, isn't it? It is rightly said that C++ might not be the easiest language to master, but C++ is an object-oriented programming language that is beginner friendly and can be found in various industries. That's what makes C++ the most used language for writing games as well. So, are you guys ready to create another game using C++? Well, hello everyone and welcome to SimpliCode's YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. In this video tutorial, we'll see how we can create a Tic Tac Toe game using C++. But before we begin, let me tell you guys that we have regular updates on multiple programming videos. So if you are a programmer and if you want to learn something new, then consider getting subscribed to our YouTube channel and press that bell icon to never miss any updates from SimpliCode. Let's hand over this session to our training experts now.
We have to make the structure of tic-tac-toe game. And the structure of tic-tac-toe is like this. These are the empty spaces and we have to mark these empty spaces with crosses and zeros. And now these are column numbers and row numbers which will help us in adding alphabets to these empty spaces. So first of all we have to create this structure. So let's go ahead to our Visual Studio Code. So first of all let's name this game.cpp. We'll save it. So now let's start with hash include iostream. Now we'll write using namespace standard. Now before making the structure we have to create an array, a multi-dimensional array, or we can say a two-dimensional array. So we'll write int main, and inside int main first of all we'll declare that array and initialize some elements. Alright, let's say the name of the array is space. 3 rows and 3 columns we want. Okay, so let's say the elements are 0 0 0 1 0 2. Okay, now the second row the elements are 1 0 1 1 1 2. In the third row the elements are 2 0 2 1 2 2. So these are the elements. I have added these elements because these are collectively the rows and column numbers of the spaces. As you can see, 0 0 0 1 0 2 1 0 1 1 1 2 2 0 2 1 2 2. So these are those elements I have added. These are actually the positions of the empty spaces. Now we will take the input of the number of players as their name. For example, enter the name of first player and enter the name of second player. So for that we have to create a string first of all. Let's say string n1 and string n2 because there are 2 players. Now we'll display a message that enter the name of the first player. Let's say enter the name. We missed writing E. Okay, enter the name of the first player. Okay. Let's add /n. Alright. Now let's take the input. We'll write get line cin, n1, which is the name of the string. Now we'll do same for the other one. Enter the name of the second player. Now again we'll write get line C in comma and 2. Now just in order to make it look good, we'll write n1, that is the name of the first string or the name of the first player, is player 1, so he or she will play first. Okay, now we'll write /n. Now we'll do same for the player 2. We'll simply copy this and paste it. And now alright, let's change this player 2 and we'll play second. Okay, now we have to make the structure of the tic-tac-toe game. That is, this kind of a structure we have to make. So let's go ahead and create this. Okay, we have to create two straight lines, so we can do like this and make sure to write /n in the end. Now we can do same for the second line, because the two lines are pretty long enough, so we can copy and paste. It will save our time and we can do again. Now we have to create a horizontal line as well. For that, let's say cout, and we can create this horizontal line by using underscore. We'll give it a shot and we can do it like this so that it matches with the upper line. Alright, now we can write /n and we can do copy these two and we can again paste, and then this horizontal line we can copy. Basically we have to create a structure, so it is good if you can do it in a fast way or an easy way. Alright, but the 18 and 19 line seems to be extra, so yeah, we can remove that. So that, let's make it more symmetrical. Let's add some more underscores here as well. Make it like this. Alright, now it is looking pretty much symmetrical. Let's remove this line. Yeah, it is looking good now. Now all we need to do is to add the elements of the multi-dimensional array, that is space array, to these empty spaces. Like we have to add element on each and every empty space. So as we can see, this is the 0 0, that is 0th row and 0 column. This is 0th row and first column. This is 0th row and second column, and similarly all of these. So that is why we have created these kind of elements. So yeah, we can also change these elements. Let's create them 1 2. Let's make it simple. 7 8 and 9. So yeah, all we need to do is to add these elements to these empty spaces. Our main intent behind adding these elements to these empty spaces is whenever we click a particular element or digit, like let's say 2 or 3, then the mark of 0 or X should be placed at that particular position. So let's do it. And for that we have to do it like this. Write cout, and inside cout we'll write the name of the array with the position of it, of a particular element. So this is the position of the first element, that is 1, and after that we'll do it like this. Okay, so this is the vertical line, and then again we have to write the position for the second element, that is 0 1. This element is 2, and once we have wrote this, then we can enclose it in the bracket. Alright, now the second vertical line, and we'll do same for the third one. Write space 0 2, that is the third element, that is 3. Now let's enclose it in double quotes. Alright, yeah, /n semicolon. Yeah, let's fix it. Now it's fine. Now we have to do the same for the second row and the third row. So all we need to do is to copy this and we'll add over here and over here as well. Instead of writing this whole code, we can simply copy paste, and now all we need to do is to just change the row number and the column number. So as we can see, this is the first, this is the second, and this is the third element. So we'll do same for the other elements. So this is the fourth element. So this position is 1 0, and this position is 1 1. This position is 1 2, and this is the second 0 position. This is 2 1 position, and this is position 2 2. That is the last position. So this is the thing. So we can check if it is looking good or not. I'm pretty sure that it is not fully ready yet, but yeah, we can check. So we'll save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Now we'll try to run this. So as we can see, enter the name of the first player. So let's say the name of the first player is Sam, and the name of second player is Mario, And yeah, so this is our output, but it is not looking good as its alignment is not good, which I was sure. So we have to make some changes. We have to adjust a bit. This was the vertical line and this was the second vertical line. So let's make some changes and let's see if it is looking good or not. Sam and Mario again. It is better than earlier, but as you can see, this one is not underneath this one. That is, the vertical line is not underneath the previous vertical line, and same for the 6th, same for the 9th. So we'll have to adjust this, and it's pretty easy. We can do that. Yeah, now let's save it again and let's hope it runs this time. Enter the first name. We have to enter. Let's add Mario first this time. Sam the second time. Yeah, it is looking good now. As you can see, it is symmetrical and positions are also filled. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. These are those elements. Now all we need to do is to make this structure as if a person, that is the player, will click a particular digit, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 or 7 8 9, then that mark, that is 0 or cross, will be added to that particular position. And also we haven't noticed that this Mario is player 1, Mario is player 2 is wrong. That is, we have to write n2 over here. So by mistake we have wrote n1, and we can add one space over here as well. So yeah, the rest is good. Now all we need to do is to create some functions, but before that let's make it right. Yeah, now let's make this all code inside a function. So let's remove this int main. We'll do that later. Let's create this code inside a function. Let's say the name of the function is function1. Okay, alright, so this is our function, and let's create all these variables outside the function so that it can be global variables. And we also take this array, we'll copy it and paste it over here, right? And we can remove it from here. Yeah, so we have declared it globally, and we'll do the same for the variables, that is row, and another variable, that is column, because we know that in a two-dimensional array there must be rows and columns. So we'll write column. Alright, so these are the global variables. So now let's go ahead and create function 2. For that, let's say we'll write void function 2. Now inside this function we will check for any invalid value and we'll make sure that it is not there. But before that we will create a variable digit so that we can take the input from the user. So we'll write int digit. This is the variable. Now after that we'll write, so here we will write if the value of token, that is the variable that we will now create, is equal to x, then we will take the input from the first player and then we'll take the input from the second player. So before that we have to create a variable token. So we'll write here This variable is of character type character token. We'll initialize it with cross or X. Alright, now here we will write if value of token equals cross, then we'll write n1, that is the variable name. Enter, please enter. We'll write please enter. After that, we'll take the input, that is the variable digit. Now we will do same for player 2, that is n2. So we can copy this and we can paste it. All we need to change is we can make it 0 and make it n2, so it will display n2, that is player 2, please enter, and then the player 2 will enter the digit. Now we have to check these digits for each and every column and rows one by one, and also we have to make sure that there is not any invalid value. So for that we'll write if digit value is 1, that is the number entered by the player is 1, that is the first place or the first space, then it would be row equals 0 and column equals 0, that is the first place. Just to clarify, here we are talking about this position, that is 0th row and 0th column. After that we'll do it for 0th row and first column, then 0th row and second column, and similarly we'll do for all of these positions. Okay, now we have to repeat this code. We have to just change this digit value to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 9 because there are 9 spaces, and we have to change the rows and columns value. So instead of writing it again and again, we can just copy and paste it. We'll copy and now we'll paste, and we'll do it for 9 times 3. Alright, now all we need to do is to change these values. If the value of the digit is 2, that is entered by the user for the player, then the value will go to 0th row and first column. If the value is 3, then 0th row second column or third column, because we are starting from 0, so that is why we are talking like this. Now if the value of digit is 4, then 0th row and then first row and 0th column. Then if the value is 5, then first row and first column. If the value is 6, first row and second column. If the value is 7, then second row 0th column, that is right. If the value of digit is 8, we'll write 8, and the value would be row 0, row 2 and column 1. Here digit is 9, so row would be 2 and column would be 2. After that, in else we can write, if the case is invalid, we will print invalid. Alright, we can write endl after that. Now this condition else means if the value entered by the player is any other value than the values at the empty spaces, that is from 1 to 9, then that case would be an invalid case. So that is why here we have written invalid. Now after that we have to write an if condition. So first of all I'll write the if condition because it's pretty long, and after that I'll explain it to you. So we'll start with if the value of token is cross and space array that is row, and here we'll write column not equal to x. That means if x is not there at a particular position, and similarly we'll write for the 0, we will write column we will write row. If I take particular position, there is no 0 as well, so that means that is a unused place. So inside this we'll write space row column x or cross token equals 0. Okay, so we have wrote this, and now I'll explain you this part. So here we are checking if there is any unused space which is left in the structure to fill. So what we are doing is, if the value of token is x, that means player 1 turn is there, and at a particular place there is not x and not 0 as well. So player 1's value x would be assigned there, as we can see in line 96. After that player 2 turn is there, so we have assigned the value 0 to the token, that is player 2's value. After this we have to use else if statement and do the same for player 2 as well. Alright. Now we'll write else if and we'll do the same. We can copy it and paste it over here. We need to do minor changes. We have to change it to 0, and this one would be same. This means if player 2 turn is there, then if the value is not x at a particular place and neither it is 0 at a particular place, then that particular place is empty or unused. So we will assign 0 at that place because now the turn is of player 2. Okay, we can copy paste it as well because the code is same. here would be 0 and the token would be X or cross. After this we have to write the else block, and inside that block we have to call the function again so that we can play it again. So all we need to do is we will print there is no empty space. Alright, we can use endl. We have to call this function. The name of the function is function2. We'll write function2. So now let's have a look at what we have done. So first of all, once the player enters the digit, the value will go to the suitable if condition. As you can see here, the player will enter the digit, then the value will go to this particular suitable if condition. Once the particular condition matches, then it goes to the below if condition, that is over here. Here it is checked whether the space is already filled or not. If it is filled, then we will get the message that there is no empty space, but if it is empty, then the player can fill the space with 0 or cross depending on the player. So now let's go ahead and create a function, and we'll name this function as function3, which is of Boolean type. Alright, here we have created this function of Boolean type because we have to return true and false only. In this function we will set the condition for players to win and check whether the game is still going on or it is a draw. So let's start. First of all, we'll create a for loop which iterates from 0, that is int I equals 0, I less than 3 till 3 and I plus plus. Now inside the for loop we will set the conditions for a player to win the match. So as we know that in the game of Tic Tac Toe, if the pair of 3 matches, whether it is horizontal, vertical or diagonal, then that particular player wins the match. So here we will set the conditions for horizontal and vertical pairs, and after this we will set the condition for diagonal pairs. So let's start. So we'll write if array space I, we are making row a variable I0 equals space I1 space I1 and space I0 again equals to space I2. There's a mistake again. Alright, so this condition is for first row, as we can see. So in the condition we are checking if this element, that means the element at this position is equal to this position and the element at this position is equal to this position, then the particular player wins. And that's what we are doing in the condition. The loop starts from 0, so first 0 0 equal to 0 1, that is first and the second element, then first and the third element. So it is checking that whether these three elements are equal. So if they are equal, then it is true, and otherwise it is false. So here we have checked horizontally, and now we have to check vertically. So we'll write or, and we'll write space 0i 0 I equals space 1i. and space 0i again equals to space 2i. Here we are making rows fixed and column variable. So if these conditions are true, the player wins. So we'll return true. So now similarly we'll do for the diagonal elements. For diagonal elements we have to check diagonally, so we don't have to use the for loop. We'll write space 0 0 equals space 1 1 and space 1 1 equals space 2 2. Now here or space 0 2 equals space 1 1 and space 1 1 equals space 2 0. Okay, so if these diagonal conditions also met, then it is true, that is it's a win. Alright, okay, so after this, so these were the conditions for winning the game. So now we have to make the conditions to check whether the game is still going on or is it finished. So we'll do that. So we'll write for int I equals 0, I less than 3, because it is a 3 cross 3 matrix, then I plus plus. After that we'll write for int j or k, whatsoever you want, int j equals 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Alright, now inside this, both of these for loop, we'll write the condition of if space I j not equal to the symbol, that is cross, and it is also not equal to, that is I j also not equal to the other symbol, that is 0, then we will return false. So here what we are doing is, in the if condition, one by one every position is being checked. We have written if the value at the position is not cross and is also not 0, then that means the game isn't finished yet, or it is still going on, because the game is played till every position is filled totally. So if any position is not filled, that means the game is still going on. That is why we have returned false. So we have used these conditions if the player wins the game. These were the conditions to check whether the game is still going on. Now only condition left is to check if the game is draw. So after this, if this condition is not met and this condition is not met and this condition is also not met, then there is only one possibility, that the game is draw. So after this for loop, the control will go to outside the loop. So we have to create a variable, let's say tie, and make it true. So we also have to declare this variable, and the data type of this variable must be boolean. So we can write bool tie. Alright, now let's come back. Now after it is tie, we'll return false. Alright, now we have created these three functions, that is function 3, function 2 and function 1. So now one by one we have to call each and every function starting from 1, 2 and 3. Systematically we'll do it. So write int main. Alright, int main. Inside int main, first of all, we have to call these three functions one by one. So how can we do it? So we'll write while, and inside the while loop we'll write the condition not function 3. Here it means this loop will keep on iterating till this function will return false, and this function, that is function 3, will keep on returning false until any player, that is player 1 or player 2, wins the game. So if the game is not won by any of the player, then again these functions will execute one by one. So this cycle will keep on repeating. So we'll write function 1 first of all, after that function 2, and then function 3. Alright, so after this while loop we'll write if condition, if token equals symbol x, tie is false. I'll explain this part. Now we'll write n1, that is the name of the player 1, and after that we'll write wins. Then we'll write endl. Similarly we'll do it for the player 2, but we have to write in else if token equals symbol 0 and tie is not there, that is the game is not tie, then player 2 wins, that is n2 wins. Now in the last there is else block. So this block, else block, will execute if the game is draw. So it's a draw. Alright, yeah, we have done a mistake over here. If the token value is x, then n2 wins, that is player 2. If the token value is 0, then n1 wins. So yes, here if the value of tie is false, that is there is no tie between both the players, and the value of token is x, that means player 2 wins. Here the token equal to x, that is cross, means that the last turn was of player 2 and the game was not a tie and is ended. So it means the game is won by player 2 and vice versa for the player 1. And if both the conditions are not met, then it is a tie. So now let's try to run this. Let's save it first. Now let's try to run this. Hope it works. There are some errors. Let's have a look at them. Okay, so we haven't used the brackets, plus there are some more errors. So let's fix them all. Function 2 and function 3. As you can see, there are no brackets. We forgot to mention the brackets here as well. And for the strings, we have to do like this. Alright. There are some more errors. So let's do some changes. And we also forgot to make it a character array. Let's make all the elements as character. And also we have to assign tie to something like, let's say, false. We have to initialize it, and let's see if there are some more errors. There must be some more errors. Let's save and run it. We forgot to save it. Now we'll run it. Okay, there are some more errors. We forgot to put bracket over here and call the function 1. And let's just copy and paste this whole enter the name thing into the main function. That's where it will look nice and it will minimize the errors. So we can copy this, or we can cut this and we can paste it in the main function. Alright, now let's save this and let's try to run. Alright, there are some more errors, I think. Single quotes. We have to make it double quotes. Alright, plus I think now let's try again. This is showing the error. Alright, this is 112. Alright, after this we have to make some changes in this if and else statements. So let's change this. So we'll write else if statement and we'll write the condition that if digit is less than 1 and or digit is greater than 9, then this message that is invalid should be displayed. Alright, now let's try to run this. Save it and run this. Function 1. Now our only error is function 1. So function 1, spelling is wrong. Let's correct it, save it, and now let's try to run this. Okay. Enter the name of the first player, let's say Sam. Enter the name of the second player, that's Ron. Here it is. So Sam, we forgot to mention the space, so that is why it is coming along. Sam, please enter. So let's say Sam wants to enter at 3rd position. So here we can see at 3rd position, this is the 3rd position, and here it is the cross. Now Ron, please enter. We forgot to add the space, so that is why it is looking weird, but yeah. Now Ron will enter, let's say 1. As you can see, 0 is at place 1. Now Sam will enter 6. As you can see, Sam is going to make a pair. On the other side, Ron will now click on 5. Alright, now Sam again will click on 9 to make his pair. As we can see, Sam has made his pair and Sam wins. So this is the game of Tic Tac Toe, and I know the code is pretty long, but it is worth trying. And if you want to do it in a better way, then you must practice it for like 2 to 3 times. So this is how you can create a game of Tic Tac Toe in C++.
And with that, we have come to the end of this C++ Tic Tac Toe tutorial. I hope you guys must have learned something new. If you have any doubts related to any of the topics covered in this particular tutorial, then please feel free to drop them down in the comment section below and we'll definitely answer them for you. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then do give it a thumbs up. If you have any doubts, then please drop them down in the comment section below. Please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe. SimpliCode. Thank you.